Urban Camps tenemos un montón de aventuras y temáticas disponibles y todo sin que los peques tengan que dormir fuera de casa. Tu reserva ya en campamentosvaughan.com. Urban Camps, aventuras en inglés. No las dejes escapar. Disfruta de los Urban Camps en Las Rozas, Colegio Europeo de Madrid, en Aluche, Colegio Santa Gema Galgani, Las Tablas, Colegio Estudiantes, en Metropolitano, Ciudad Universitaria, CMU Isabel de España y en Arganda, Colegio Say Virgen de la Soledad. Infórmate de los campamentos de Vaughan en campamentosvaughan.com.
¿Y a ti? ¿Se te hace cuesta arriba el inglés? Clases 100% método Vaughan para todos los niveles que te darán el empujón que necesitas para vencer todas tus dificultades con el idioma.
Infórmate en Barcelona en el 933398687. En Madrid 91 133 5833. En serio. No lo dejes para septiembre. En Barcelona, en el 933398687. En Madrid, 91 133 5833. Este verano tenemos un montón de planes para ti y tus hijos, para toda la familia. Ven a Vaughan. Disfruta el verano con Vaughan. Más información en grupovaughan.com. Aquí comienza Inglés Online TVE.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. The show today, of course, Inglés Online TVE. I would have called it English Online, right? But hey, Inglés Online TVE is the show because we follow the course on Televisión Española. So for those of you who live in Spain, you can find us on Channel 2 in Spain of the national broadcaster, Televisión Española, Channel 2 at 7:30 in the morning. We're on there with contents and classes, and it's a lot of fun. And today we'll explore class number 85 and also 86, because on Friday, I didn't do the show. We did an hour-and-a-half edition of the Drive Time program because we had Fitz in the studio. I hope you listened to that show and enjoyed it as much as I did. But today don't worry, we're going to review that content as well. I don't want you to miss anything. So to make sure you don't miss anything, we're going to review classes 85 and also 86. And I'd like to welcome you to the stream. If you want to participate, you can join on YouTube, Inglés Online TVE, and you can join Belén and Antonio, Marcelman, a lot of others who are participating. Good evening, everyone. Hi. Hello, Antonio. Hello, everybody, says Marcelman Valentino. Hi there. So hello, everybody. Thank you for connecting. Feel free to connect and ask me any questions. Si tienes preguntas, dudas, if you have any questions, send them in. I'll do my best to answer them. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And let's get into that now. Actually, let's start with our content. How about today's beginner content?
Nivel básico.
All right, everybody, beginner. But don't think if you say, oh, but I'm not a beginner, this is too easy for me. Well, you can always improve fluency, right, and mastery with the basics, with the essentials, as I say. And today our sentence in class number 85 is, we have lunch at home on Tuesdays. Okay. Comemos en casa los martes. En casa, right? We eat at home. We have lunch at home. Comemos could be we eat. Because we use the verb to eat and also to have our midday meal. Now, when I was in Canada, I had lunch at 12 noon. And a lot of people called that, quite simply, lunchtime. Right? La hora de comer, lunchtime, which for me was 12 o'clock noon. You have two different 12 o'clocks, right? 12 noon and 12 midnight. But I used to have lunch at 12 o'clock. Or I would get off school. Yeah, I think I got off school at 12 o'clock for lunch, and I would walk home. I used to walk home because I lived only 10 minutes away from the school. I'd walk home, have lunch with my mother and my brother, and then walk back to school when I was young. Yeah. They were good times. And anyway, we will have lunch at home, or we have lunch at home on Tuesdays. So los martes, we say on Tuesdays. When you talk about a day, you say on, right? On Mondays, I have lunch at home. On Tuesdays, I have lunch. Actually, most days I have lunch at home. I usually have lunch at home because at home, I usually work at home in the mornings. Sometimes I teach classes, but I usually go home for lunch. It allows me to save money. I mean, I could pack a lunch, but I usually go home and have lunch at home. I have dinner at home during the week as well. La cena, dinner. So to have lunch, have dinner. We don't say to take lunch, right? Well, I could take lunch means to physically transport. I take my lunch to work and I have it at work. Or I take my lunch to school and I have it at school. But here, to have lunch at home. I have lunch at home on Tuesdays. Okay. Now, we can look at class number 86. I have to decide now. Should we do? You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll do all the beginner content. We'll do all 85 and 86, all the beginner content first. So the beginner class 86 was she has breakfast at 9:15 at the weekend. Now, this is a British term, at the weekend. In American English, we would say on the weekend. I love breakfast on the weekend. I cook big breakfasts. I almost always cook bacon and eggs for breakfast. Well, not almost always, but I often cook bacon and eggs for breakfast on the weekends. On the weekends, I love cooking on the weekends, cooking a big breakfast. A good breakfast is, for me, it is one of the nicest meals you can have. When you spend time, you cook a big breakfast, it's wonderful. So here, she has breakfast at 9:15. Las 9:15, right? 9:15. So if it's 9:15, then 5 minutes later, it's 9:20. 5 minutes later, it's 9:25. 5 minutes later, it's 9:30. 5 minutes later, it's 9:25 to 10. So we say 2, and then we talk about the next approaching hour. It's like, falta, how many minutes are remaining before we get to the next hour? So we say past, and then once we get to 30, we say 2, and we reference the next upcoming hour. So she has lunch at 9:15. 9:15. Valentino says to take lunch implies physically transporting it. Yeah, just like taking my phone with me, taking my pen, when I was young, I took my books to school, I took my pens to school, I took my pencils to school, I took my lunch to school, I took my, book bag to school. So to take physically, to transport. But when we talk about eating, we don't use the verb to take. We say to have lunch or to eat lunch. I ate lunch at home. Sometimes I ate lunch at school, but usually I ate lunch at home. Usually I had lunch at home. Valentino says, does the verb to take always or almost always imply that? What do you mean? To take has several uses. To take can be tomar, to take a pill, right? Not tomar un café, to have a coffee, but take a pill. We can say to take a pill, to take medication. We do use the verb to take there. To take also means tardar. How long does it take? How long? ¿Cuánto tarda? How long does it take to drive from Madrid to Barcelona? How long does it take? And then we also have to take can also mean hacer falta. It takes a lot of hard work. Hace falta mucho trabajo. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of studying. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of dedication to learn English well. Hace falta. So, to take, hace falta, to require. To take, in terms of time, tardar. It takes 4 hours or 5 hours to drive to Barcelona. To take as in to take a pill, and also to take with transportation, like to take a bus, to take a train. I had my first book that came out 5 or 6 years ago called The Verb Circus, and I practiced with all these verb uses in that book. Los verbos esenciales del inglés, of course. And you can find that book available at Vaughan Tienda, the Vaughan shop, and other stores as well. But yeah, it's a very dynamic verb, the verb to take. So let's see here. We have people writing in. Mucha gente aquí. A lot of people participating. Belen says at 12 o'clock a.m., it's time to have a second breakfast. All right. Yeah, have a snack. All right, why not? Yeah, and that's what I do now, too. I have lunch I eat at, people always ask me this, when do you eat? Well, I eat at Spanish times because I live in Spain. You know, it's natural for me to adjust. Ricardo says, hello, we are progressing. I'm glad you're making progress. Very good. Yolanda says, hi, Kyle. Hello, all. Hi, Yolanda. How are you? Valentino says, Canada has a 12-hour clock like we do in Haiti. Haiti, Kyle. How do you keep up with the Spanish time system? Well, I'm just used to it because I live here, so I'm used to it. Ricardo, I just had brunch. Ooh, very nice. Brunch, which comes from breakfast, and lunch, brunch, right? Yes, Antonio says at 12 o'clock, it's time to start the cañitas. Tomar una caña. Yeah, why not? At 12 o'clock? Well, yeah, maybe on a Sunday, right? Who knows? Tariq says, hello, Mr. Kyle. How are you keeping? Well, I'm doing great. How are you keeping? Is another way of saying, ¿Qué tal estás? How are you? All right. Yolanda says, 12 a.m. in Spain is pincho de tortilla time. Yeah, that's true. I love a great breakfast, and also I like brunch. Yummy, yummy, says Belen. Yeah, me too. Is it ever used in a weekend? In a weekend? No, on a weekend. On the weekend, I would say. On the weekend. Where will you be on the weekend? Right? Okay, Ricardo says, I have egg whites and oatmeal every morning. That's good. Egg whites, right? Full of protein. Good one, Ricardo. Oatmeal. I usually have oatmeal during the week. I had oatmeal this morning. Avena, right? I boil it up. I do it most mornings. La avena. I put it in there, rolled oats it's called, and you boil it up. I put some berries in there, frozen berries. Being Canadian, I like maple syrup. Sirope de arce. I put a little bit of that, a little tiny bit on there for some sweetness. Very nice. Very nice. And Marcelmana, coffee now. Para llevar. She said to take, but we don't say a coffee to take. We say a coffee to go. Para llevar. A coffee to go, please. Now, Valentino says, talking about time, if it's, for example, 1:32, what would you say? We wouldn't say it's 28 to 2. No. We would say it's we would approximate it. We'd probably round it off to, it's 1:30, or exactly. If we want to be specific, we'd say it's 1:32. Exactly, but that's a good question. Yolanda says, porridge? Yeah, I love porridge. I have porridge. Yeah, not every day. but very often. And when I was young, I grew up eating a lot of porridge. The instant, like the oatmeal, let's say. Instant oatmeal or porridge, whatever. Yeah, I like that stuff. Okay, let's push forward. The beginner, one more thing here. Yeah, we have lunch at home on Tuesdays. That was the first one. And the second one was he has breakfast at 9:15 at the weekend, or you could say on the weekend. Okay, let's go ahead with today's intermediate content.
Nivel intermedio.
Nivel intermedio. There isn't as much water in the south of Europe as in the north. That's true. No hay tanta. There isn't as much. There isn't as much water in the south of Europe as in the north. It's true. There aren't as many Eskimos in Spain as there are in Canada. There aren't as many olive trees in Galicia as there are in Andalusia. There isn't as much olive oil in Galicia as there is in Andalusia. There isn't as much ice. No hay tanta hielo. There isn't as much ice in Portugal as there is in Finland. There isn't as much sand in Spain as there is in Egypt. Right? No hay tanta. It's the tanta, tanto, tanta, the as comparison. So with uncountables, there isn't as much. And with countables, there aren't as many. There aren't as many Eskimos, Esquimales. There aren't as many Eskimos in Spain as there are in Canada, as I mentioned. There aren't as many fishing communities in Holland as there are in Portugal, for example. There aren't as many flamenco singers. There aren't as many flamenco singers in Badajoz as there are in Seville, right? There aren't as many sword factories or sword producers, right? Espadas. Shing. There aren't as many sword producers in Vigo as there are in Toledo. There aren't as many English teachers in the restaurant as there are in Vaughan Systems. Of course not, right? So there isn't as much water in the south of Europe as in the north. And be careful, in the north of Europe, which is different from north of Europe. In the north of Europe, right? So, for example, or if you take Spain, for example, Bilbao is in the north of Spain. Norway is north of Spain. Because Norway is not part of Spain. Norway is north of Spain. France is north of Spain. Holland is north of Spain. Germany is north of Spain. Bilbao is in the north of Spain. Vigo is in the north of Spain. Vitoria is in the north of Spain. Santander is in the north of Spain. Malaga is in the south of Spain. Morocco is south of Spain. Right? Granada is in the south of Spain. But South Africa is south of Spain. Africa is south of Spain. Zimbabwe is south of Spain. Florida is south, well, it's not directly, but it's south of Spain. But Seville is in the south of Spain. Okay? So there isn't as much water in the south of Europe as in the north. You could say as in the north of Europe, or quite simply as in the north, period. Okay, that's number 86. Number 85. Class number 86, intermediate, class 86. By the way, oye, por cierto, by the way, what was the fair about? Oh, it was about language schools. Por cierto, ¿de qué trataba la feria? What was the fair about? La feria. Right? What was the fair? By the way, por cierto, by the way, what was the fair about? And then he says, oh, it was about language schools, escuelas de idioma. It was about language schools. Yeah, there were lots of language schools there. By the way, por cierto, what was the fair about? Oh, it was about food. There's a big gourmet food fair going on in Madrid right now. Hey, what was the fair about? It was about food. It was about gourmet food. It was about wine. It was about seafood. It was about olive oil. It was about languages. It was about travel and like the Fitur, which is a tourism expo. Hey, what was the fair about? It was about tourism. What was the fair about? It was about, to be about something, to have a specific topic. Right? By the way, what was the fair about? Oh, it was about language schools. Okay, that is our intermediate, everybody. Let's push forward and have a look at today's advanced content.
Nivel avanzado.
Nivel avanzado. She dared him to do a parachute jump, but he didn't have the guts. So, okay, she dared him. I dare you. Right? Te atrevo. Te atrevo. Do you say that? Juanjo? Do you ever say that to people? Te atrevo. I dare you. So when you're... ¿Cómo? Bueno, yo te atrevo. ¿Se puede decir eso? ¿Te atrevo a hacerlo o no? Me atrevo. Pero a ti, if I say... ¿A que no lo puedes hacer? Me atreve a hacer... Ok, me atreve a hacértelo. Me atrevo a hacértelo. Whew. Easier in English. I dare you. It's the verb to dare. I dare you. So I say, Juanjo, I dare you to go up to Lucy at reception and steal her pen. And then when she needs her pen, she'll be looking around and she won't know where it is. Actually, that's a silly dare. And say, oh my gosh, where's it? And then you can give it back to her, of course, but she'll look everywhere and maybe it'll be funny. I dare you to do it. I dare you. Someone dares someone else. D-A-R-E. Yeah, Chema says, how do you spell the verb atrevo? But yeah, D-A-R-E, dare, D-A-R-E, dare. I dare you to. I didn't want to do it, but he dared me. He dared me to jump out of the airplane. They dared me to jump into the cold water. At the beach in Canada, the water was 9 degrees Celsius, and my friend dared me to do it. I did it on a dare. Yeah, Marcelman says, I dare you means te reto. Bueno, yeah, it's like I challenge you to do it. Okay. I dare you to do it. I challenge you to do it. I dare you to do it. Oh, boy, it'll be funny if you do it. I dare you to. Right? So she dared him to do a parachute jump. So you jump out of the airplane with the parachute, right? And then you slowly drift to the... I would never... I don't know if I would do that or not. On a dare, I wouldn't do it. Te apuesto. Bueno, but I bet you. Te apuesto. Una apuesta is like a bet where there's often money or compensation. But this is just like, I don't think you can do it. I dare you to do it. She dared him to do a parachute jump, but he didn't have the guts. He didn't have the guts. He didn't have the fortitude to do it. He didn't have the guts are like, now the guts are like the insides of your body, your guts, what is required to do something. It wasn't strong enough to do it. I was too insecure to do it. He didn't jump out of the airplane because he didn't have the guts to do it. She dared him to do a parachute jump, but he didn't have the guts. Okay, the last sentence, class number 86. How dare you get rid of what I was working on. Oh my, so how dare you? How can you possibly do that? So another use of the verb to dare. How could you possibly do that? How dare you do that? Like, I wouldn't dare say anything negative about the boss. It would be a bad idea. I wouldn't dare do it. I wouldn't even consider doing it. I wouldn't dare do it. So the sentence is, how dare you get rid of, deshacerse de, tirar, deshacerse de algo, to get rid of something. Like to get rid of my old pen because it's out of ink. When my pen's out of ink, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to throw it away. Yeah. Belén says in Spanish, no tenerlos, yeah. O los cojo, yeah. Claro. You know exactly. Yeah. It's true, Belén. That's exactly what we mean. I egg you on to do it. Can I? Yeah, sure. But to egg someone on is like, come on, do it. But to dare is just, to egg someone on implies being persistent with your taunting. Come on, do it. Do it, will you? Come on. You know? Okay, so there you go. How dare you get rid of what I was working on? Class number 86. We're out of time. The music tells us that we're out of time. We have to finish there, but I want to thank you so much for listening and also for watching through YouTube today in class number 86. Thank you for that. And big thanks to Juanjo for a great job on the show today. There he is. And we'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the program. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.